Now, as with all games, the 2012 London Games is already developing its own identity, and it plans to deliver the first truly digital games and the first sustainable games. Now, both these themes will make one of the most revolutionary Olympics in decades. Now, first touching on the digital games, I don't want to go into too much detail here because the next in our series of these webinars, which is only 2 months away, we will be covering this in quite a lot of detail and having a guest speaker. But I will just say, for those of you on the line today who are in the creative industries sector, the objective around London 2012 is essentially to create a democratic games, taking advantage of all these new participation technologies that we're experiencing and also all the social networking technologies. The real vision is to allow spectators and residents to be able to watch a number of simultaneous events using all these new media technologies, but also have the ability to contribute to the Olympics experience. Now, for instance, on this slide, you'll see, the way the stadium is being developed, and there's going to be like a digital skin that wraps around the stadium. And this skin is going to have content that's supplied by the public, and also there's going to be large digital screens dotted across the UK and beyond. So here there is an opportunity, again, not just with the Olympic Park, but right across the UK, for companies who've got either technologies or maybe technologies behind advertising or technologies behind this type of digital opportunity. Now, just touching on the legacy for a second, as many of you know only too well, given the market that you're in, that the lasting effects of the Olympic Games is just so critical. You will understand the real importance that the organisers here are placing on legacy. Now, this picture shows the Media Press Centre, International Broadcast Centre, how it's going to look in 2012. And this facility is going to be transformed into a creative centre of excellence and offering business space in what we feel is going to be the most wired site in the world. Now, a new university is being created in part of this space that will focus on sports technologies and creative industries, and then the rest of the building will be occupied by creative industries companies looking to rent space. Now, we're working very, very closely with a newly created Olympic Park legacy company at the moment to try and get a lot more detail, and we will be sharing that with you again later on in our webinar series. But companies who do choose to take space in this facility will be choosing one of the best connected locations in the world. Now, of course, we would say that, wouldn't we? But the reason I underline this message is that because there will be an international train terminal linking this area to King's Cross in the north part of London that takes people up to the rest of our country, but also it connects to Paris in less than 2 hours. We'll also have the introduction of Crossrail just in a few years from now that will link this part of London to Heathrow in less than 25 minutes. So moving on now to the other aspect of the unique games, and that's the sustainability angle. Now, sustainable development is a relatively new sector here in London. However, I would stress that it is already an integral part of the city's way of working. Now, Mayor Boris Johnson has taken a very strong, positive stance on encouraging green development, and there are a number of initiatives promoting the large-scale uptake of new technologies, such as low-carbon outdoor lighting, LED traffic lights, electric vehicles. There are currently 4 new low-carbon zones, and over $100 million is currently being invested in new waste technologies. So this has provided an excellent environment for the 2012 Olympics, which is already being described as the first truly green games, and really the first games to make sustainability a cornerstone of its proposition. Now, any company providing products or services to the London Olympic and Paralympic Games will need to adhere to the Sustainable Sourcing Code. Again, I should stress we do have a separate webinar that drills down into a lot more detail about this and about the sustainable opportunities, where we're hoping to be joined by the Head of Sustainability at the Olympic Delivery Authority. So really, for those of you interested in getting involved in the London 2012 Games, it really couldn't be easier. There are 7,000 direct contracts from which flow 75,000 supply chain opportunities. Now, many of these will be published and are being published right now on an online procurement system called Compete4, which really creates complete transparency in the procurement system.